So can we get an app update for DoorDash and all the existing food delivery apps that deal with, with basically, it not necessarily just Ring doorbells, but basically, the whole security thing. Can we get set it up where people get notifications that their food is there? Because see, a lot of times when you see these past messages and people are saying do not ring doorbell, and then I feel like on the other spectrum of, sometimes people get stuff and they may be mad that they're just like, well, no one told me that my food was sitting on the porch. Because I see a lot of times, I don't know, as a driver, sometimes I'm sitting outside a person's house and I've just dropped something off, and I'm looking at my app and I'm doing, different stuff. And I know there's nothing saying that the customer has to come to the door at a certain amount of time, but I just am concerned sometimes when it's like ice cream and different perishable items. And a lot of times I do not know that, well, I definitely know sometimes when I try to contact customers, the contact information is not correct. And I can understand all the people that have the automated doorbells not wanting people to ring the doorbell because it's already recording and it's doing its thing. But sometimes I just wonder. And I really wish DoorDash and all the platforms would not really allow you to actually be on the platform without having accurate contact information and accurate, location data, because it's just, it's a waste of time sometimes to, go driving somewhere and be like, then them telling you, oh, well, that's not my actual address, or, blah, blah, blah. And, you're just like, okay, whatever. But, I feel like all these apps, these delivery apps, do need a full overhaul, and also, question the customer, being like, okay, is this the message that you want to leave for the driver? Because, things have changed. I've ran into different issues where I've seen notes, and I'm like reading the note, and then it's just like, oh, that's from a previous order, or something else happened, and blah blah blah. So and also base access. These orders, I get so many orders, and someone says, make sure you can get on base. And I'm like, this is kind of a failure on these delivery companies, because, they need to specify, right off the rip that they're sending somebody to, area they have access. And this goes also to the whole thing about even gate codes. Sometimes I've gotten to areas where I get there and, I can't get in the gate. And people will say, well, look in the notes. But, a lot, I don't like how sometimes you have to actually dig for the information. I feel like that should be on the home screen in order for you to do certain things. And I'm sitting here, I might not even be able to get into Safeway real quick. I got to see if I can. Let me see if I can. So I just feel like the apps need kind of like a communication update addressing a lot of the issues that drivers have. And even like the whole apartment complex thing. This is what I recommend anybody do that dreads the whole apartment complex thing, is that take some time on a, whenever you're doing your DoorDash thing, whenever you're doing your Uber Eats thing, but to get familiar with some of these apartment complex, I recommend that people do the apartment complexes during the day. Because then once you figure out the layout of the whole apartment complex and where's what, it becomes less of a hassle. But right now, it's 11 o'clock at night. I'm getting ready to shut off. I'm just doing this video. But I get very aggravated at night when I'll have like a late night apartment complex thing, and it's just like, and I've had some bad ones before in the past. I've learned my lesson, but I'm just like, God dang, and you can't get a hold of the person, and you feel bad because you're just like, I'm trying to get this food to this person, and you're doing everything within your power, but you're just like, this is not going to work. And you know, there is, you know, you can call customer service and all that different stuff, and you know, but I just really feel like even that needs to get updated. I mean, I've been to a lot of apartment complexes where I've pulled up and like it's the whole building is on lockdown, and there's no code. You know, you're looking through your notes and you're just like, the person didn't send me a code, and I'm like, what the hell is this? So like I said, there, to me, the apps are lacking as a whole. And also, I've been seeing this thing, you know, this popped up on Uber. I did not see it before, but it was just like, your cancellation rate is higher than the average. And I'm like, you guys want to kick people off the platform and make it harder for us to earn money when, you know, and sometimes, I'll tell you guys this honestly though, sometimes, you know, I saw a $2 order yesterday and I'm like, man, this is way too low. But after I saw that cancellation message, I was just like, I'll take whatever I can get. And I started taking it. Shortly after me taking that order, you know, I did get some other good orders, so it paid off. All right, so anyway, I think the last topic, I had to go to Come and Go, but the last topic that I was talking about was them forcing you to take these low ball orders. And the only way to get past that, though, is multi-apping. But, you know, they're starting to do this thing. It's like, oh, you don't appear to be heading towards the restaurant and all this different stuff. And I'm like, Lord, this is going to force me to find a better way to make income. You know, like I said, I do enjoy food delivery, you know, because it's, you know, you make your own schedule. And I'll tell you, there's a lot of even health reasons why. It's just like, I was working a desk job and I was feeling completely exhausted at the desk job. Too much time, you know, inside. I mean, I'm going to be straight up, folks. It's just like the world is shifting in so many different ways, and you really have to put more emphasis on like exercise and healthy diet and all this different stuff. I mean, even your exposure to sunlight and all this different stuff. And, you know, social media has made it where people are not really communicating with people. Just the world has definitely changed. But what I'm saying, though, is that as a delivery driver, I mean, you have the potential of getting in an accident and all that stuff. I understand. But at least as a delivery driver, I'm out during the day and I'm getting, you know, I'm getting up, walking, I'm getting sunlight. I felt completely wiped out at work. I mean, no focus, tired, all this different stuff. And I'm like, but I have more energy to be a delivery driver because I kind of feel like it's a mental thing though too, is because you feel like your destiny is more in your hands, you know, when, you know, but sometimes when you're not making good money, you know, as a delivery driver, you're just like, oh shit, you know, I gotta get a full-time job. But as a delivery driver, when you're doing good and you're making money and you're seeing things happen, it just does something, you know, it does something to your mind. It keeps your motivation up. If you're, you know, able to, you know, you're able to meet your financial goals, you're able to see and do things, you know, you are up and about interacting with people, you know, regardless, you know, if you're just dropping food off and stuff, but it's just like, it's just puts you in a different mode. But I don't know, you know, what's going to happen with these platforms when, you know, the money's not there. So, but you guys, I got my earnings thing pulled up and I have not been super diligent on DoorDash. I do a lot more on Uber than anything. And then Walmart Spark, you know, even with that though, that's when it was a high earner. But even with that, I'm just like, you know, I have to be very strategic about that one too.